That's enough of that before I get copyright on YouTube when I upload this. So you know how I go. If people ain't on the session right now, they just ain't on the session. I'm gonna get started regardless. This microphone, this stand. Microphone is good. I hope I sound better to y'all, but the stand is trash. But the microphone is great, but the stand is trash. But so I know you guys saw all those crazy spikes happening in the market. So what I'm gonna do is show you guys how money could have been made on some of these spikes. Well, not some of these spikes, but a lot of these spikes. So when something like that happens, what you do, go to the higher time frame. Now this session, I'm not gonna go there and review everything I went over last Thursday, because I usually end up going and when I was doing just Monday sessions, I was showing you guys what happened in the week. But since last Thursday was just last Thursday, I'm gonna get into to these crazy spikes. I might actually call this session on YouTube "Them Spikes." Them. Let me write this down. Spikes. People be like, "What the hell is he talking about?" But you guys about to see what I'm talking about with them spikes. You guys all saw the market open on Sunday with like some 200, 300 pips spikes up. Oops. Some 200 and 300 pips spikes up. I know oops is probably one of my words I say the most on these classes. I be pressing the wrong stuff out here. So GBP CAD, this is actually I'm gonna cover this just once I have it open. This is actually a move that Ray and I had. I want to say a lot of people who trade Harmonics had the same move. This big cipher right here got complete and utterly disrespected, and this is why I don't like trading the D point on the cipher. So I'll tell you guys, I'll trade. Let me get rid of this one here. I always trade C to D and not the D entry point unless it's on gold, because these joints be getting disrespected. And the disrespect was ugly on this, because this joint went for 700 plus pips above what entry would have been on the sell. That's actually a pretty good sell zone too, where it was at, because look at these shoulders on this head and shoulders, which I just covered last Thursday. But it don't matter, because I'm about to erase this whole joint. Bam. So where's the button at? I didn't hit the button. I said bam too fast. So I know you guys may or may not see what I saw. I'm not talking about this movement right here. Yes, it is a W formation. And I told you guys about W formation before. What you do on this is, and if you guys don't see it, let me grab this. Let me grab the chat too, in case you guys ask questions, because right now I can't see it. Bam. So W formation, how you get into it? I'm gonna do a super quick little thing about this, because I ain't talking about W formation today. I am talking about the big moves, them big boys out here. So I made this line pink like I always do, so it stands out. This W formation is right here, right there. That's your first piece of your W. That's your second piece, and it's your third piece. And then your entry, if you wanted to get on this, let's say you thought this was a harmonic pattern here, because technically this looks like this could have been a Gartley or a bat. Let me see. It looks like this could have been a bat pattern. Oh, no, a Gartley pattern. It's right there. So either way it go, pattern got disrespected. It makes no difference. But this could have been a potential Gartley that would have gotten disrespected also. But looking at this, you see your entry zone and your Gartley would have been right here. Now, if you didn't see this as a Gartley and you saw this as a W formation, your entry on this trade would have been when price got above this point. This is your neckline. And I know I talked about a neckline before, but when you have a W and an M formation, price has a neckline. Same with the head and shoulders. It has a neckline. This was the head and shoulders I just had drawn up right here. That was the head and shoulders right there. You guys see it, right? So price has a neckline. So same thing on here. On this head and shoulders, your neck of this would have been right here. This is your neck of your right shoulder. Neck meaning that price is going up to the high point and turning around. So your entry on this would have been right under that neck. Once price breaks that neck, you're in that, which I know sounds very weird, but it's true. So on this W formation too, when price pushed up here, your entry on this would have been when price gets above this point. And I always do mine above that point as the safe bet, because looking to the left, look how strong that zone right there is. There's some touches there. So the touches here, there's a chance that price might break off of it. So what I would do on this is I would wait until price breaks this and get into this for a buy. That'd be my neckline buy on this. And my buy on this would be probably, I don't know, just count your pips. How much pips do you want? It went far, but I probably would have took it to about right here. Just that next point of resistance. That'd have been 180 pips up. No drawdown. But forget all that. We ain't here to talk about that today. What we're here to talk about is these big boy moves. Speaking of that, look at that head and shoulders right there. I didn't know this was even on here. I just covered head and shoulders last week, but look at that. That's a pretty clear one. Left shoulder, head, right shoulder. And where did price go at? back to whence it came from. Meaning this joint went all the way down. That's where it came from. Oops, wrong direction. Let me just press back. Wrong direction. Price came from up here, found that level of support, made a head and shoulders, and came back down to yonder. This would have been great swing opportunity. If I mean, this would have been seen. This is from freaking 2016? Yeah, this is before I was even trading. But that'd have been a hellified swing, 2,500 pips down. Imagine if you would have hopped into that just for the swing trade. That'd have been crazy. Now, on the flip side, what I'm looking at when I open this, and the reason why I'm on such a high time frame is because how big these moves are. Just to show you guys that I know some of you guys don't like looking at charts every single day or looking at patterns every single day. But there's a reason to get into some swing trades. For example, if what I'm seeing, just looking at this off the strength of just what I see, I know you guys see those M's and W formations. Like you guys see them. There is one right here. Now this could be a Gartley, or this could be a bat. But this is more likely in the Gartley right here, or a Gartley formation. And also, let me change the color of this real quick to red, because on top of that one, there's this one right here. You see it? Another one. W formation, M formation. There's actually so much going on right here. It's a head and shoulders right here. You guys see it? Let me turn some of this crap off. I don't need you. Bye, arrows. I don't need any of you. You guys see that right there? There's a head and shoulders right there. Now, this left shoulder is not equal with the right shoulder, but it doesn't matter. That is still a head and shoulders formation right there. It ain't the prettiest, but like I told y'all before, it don't have to be pretty for it to work. Like I said, it ain't the prettiest one, but it's still there. That's still a head and shoulders right there, and it's still valid. Yeah, price didn't go all the way down off the rip, but it still came all the way down. It just played around, played with some emotions for a little while, and came all the way down. You still could have made money on this, even if you wrote it to the first take profit would have been, which would have been this point right here. So it still came back to whence it came from. So you could have still made money, and that little move right there is approximately 300 pips. Yes, I said 300 on purpose. I know I said it wrong. It doesn't matter. So off that, oops, I don't need all that stuff. I'm just gonna erase this whole thing again. So when I opened this up and went to a high time frame, the first thing I saw was actually not his head and shoulders. I didn't scroll too far to the left. What I saw was this Gartley right here formed up. So with these big spikes are actually just a part of a bigger move. What I actually see on this is a Gartley and a cipher. The cipher ain't the prettiest thing, but price is actually right in that cipher sell zone. Before we get there, since this pattern is going to take a while to come to fruition anyway, what I'm going to do is show you guys what I see as far as these big patterns on here. So if you're wondering if you have a legit pattern or not, you guys know what to do. Grab that fib like you're supposed to. Grab that fib. So this is the starter's impulse move right here. Right here. I'm just going my hypothetical X to my hypothetical A. What do I have? I have a potential Gartley. Why is that? My retracement, which is right here in the middle, came back to 618 and did not touch 786. Meaning this would be hypothetical X, not an A, X. And then we got a hypothetical A down here. That's a hypothetical because we don't know what's going to happen. And this would be a B. Now imagine if you saw this move way back when it was right here at C. You could have rolled this joint up, rolled it up for some pips. You could have at least got 1,900 pips off of this, and that's just one move. It would have took a long time. It would have took about 4 months to complete. But if you're not want to sit here and watch this, you can treat this kind of like a savings account or like a high interest account. Imagine putting a 10-cent lot on there and letting the thing go for 1,900 pips. I mean, that's $1,900. Or imagine putting the full dollar on there and letting this thing ride. And a lot of high, like people who trade high volume or trade a high account, they do that. Let this thing do its thing. You don't have to be here on a 5-minute or 15-minute or even 1 hour. These high time frames also yield money. Now I tell people that for a reason. Again, I know everyone does not like watching the charts, but also people feel like, man, with Harmonics, I can't do a swing trade. I just want to do swing trades. I want to get into low and sell high. Everyone who mentions trading, the first thing they always say is, "Oh, you just buy low, sell high." That's the first thing that everyone always says. I went to a networking event last week, and everyone says that all the time. You just buy low, sell high, right? Yeah, I mean, in theory, that sounds good, but if you don't know when the low is and when the high is, you ain't gonna be winning out here. But let me see what happened right here. Oh boy, is that to the pip? Let me make sure I'm tripping real quick. Let me erase this box so I can see what's going on here with this little Gartley. Not little Gartley, this big Gartley. Let me drop this down where it's supposed to be at on the thing. Oh boy, is that to the pip? Is that to the pip? Let me see. Am I tripping for real? Let me see. Man, talk about to the pip. That's why I tell you about this money zone, man. Look at that. That is literally to the pip of the money zone right there. So all this downward movement could have been caught with a 2-pip drawdown. So that's 2-pip drawdown. Let me zoom back out real quick. So that 2-pip drawdown on this would have yielded you, oh boy, 1,700 pips. That's talking about a swing trade. Now your money zone is right here, 1272 to 886. I tell you guys, man, this stuff works. This stuff definitely works. And this is your Gartley pattern: X to A to B, B to C, C to D. D is always at the first touch of that money zone. Now, that's your aggressive entry. So this would have been sell right here and sell right there. Hold on, I need this to change back. This would have been your sell. This is literally just how simple that is. If you guys know the parameters for a Gartley, it works on any time frame, like literally any time frame, any pair. These patterns hold weight. They hold weight. Now look at that. You would have had a literally 2-pip drawdown, basically no drawdown, and price would have dropped 1,700 pips on you. Like, that's talking about a win. Again, this pattern started before I was even trading, but I'm just saying, if I can do it on a small time frame, why can't I do it in the big time frame? And realize on this, I didn't draw any levels of support or resistance on here. I literally just went 100% off a pattern right there, but that's a swing. So that's a pretty dang strong move right there. And now me looking back to the left, look where that entry would have been at. This is your D entry right here. Let me make this a nice little hotspot box. Bam. That's your D entry. And look at this old price movement. Look at that resistance that was right there. Look at that support that was right there. That's a good zone. This is 100% based off just that pattern. But looking to the left, after I drew my sell lines, you see how well that lines up. Man, that's crazy. Is it crazy, or is it just, what is supposed to happen? It did what it's supposed to do. So now that I see that, and this is on a huge time frame. I'm on a daily right now. I want to hide that Gartley real quick. Bye. You out of here. Yeah, out of here. Let me get rid of these two. Well, not two, but letters. So now that I did that, I can I'll hide these two, man. Just get out of here. I don't need you for this demonstration. Now that I saw that, what I also see on this, a potential, is this. Now there's I can't talk. Multiple places I can grab from. Man, that was hard to say just now. Multiple places I can grab from. So if I grab from the same point right here, right? And just follow me for a second. If I grab from the same point, no, not that point. I'm tripping. From this point, this is what I saw earlier. This high point, like this high move, and drag this down to that low still. Now, you guys saw all those crazy spikes in the market yesterday and this morning. And guess what's happening? This happened before. These crazy spikes happen. There's one right here. This is a crazy, stupid big spike right there. That spike is 2,000 pips. Again, it's not a 200 pip spike. It's a 2,000 pip spike. Look at the spike right here. That looks like an anomaly, but that's also, I gotta sneeze, 700 plus pips. Hold on, let me sneeze real quick. Thank you. And I'm back. Oh, I got a cramp in my abs just now from sneezing. That ab wheel is my friend, is also my enemy. Okay, I'm back. But turn this back up. I hope you guys can hear me. Same thing. So now I grab from that high point up there. Whoa, how are we doing that? Chest just caught that just now. The stand is trash. The stand literally is trash. Okay, I'm just I'm gonna spread you like that. There you go. There you go. Now you're working right. So, like I was saying, look at this big pattern. Now, same thing. Impulse leg down. This is your impulse leg. This wick is part of its impulse leg. This is your retracement. Where did your retracement go at? To 50% of this giant move. So, if price hits 50%, but not 618, what move is that? That is a bat pattern. So just from seeing this half, I know there's a potential big bat pattern forming up right here. Now, it might take forever in a day to complete, but it is there. Now, you can also trade this the same as a W formation. If you trade this as a W formation, once price gets above this point, you can get in this for a buy. And yeah, it might drop down and dance around, but just know that price is probably going to climb higher. let me look at this also. And again, like I tell you guys all the time, there's no guarantees in trading except you're going to take an L. But just know from the information provided and how that Gartley went to the pip, there's a high chance that that could happen. Now, let me finish drawing this pattern. Let me just see where this C point is at. And it is down here. It's in my validation zone, which would be right here on my bat pattern. So this whole zone, long as C is somewhere in there, this is your C. As long as C is somewhere in this zone, you're good to go. You're probably thinking, okay, what the hell is X and A at? X up here, as you guys know, that's always the first part of your impulse leg. X, A, not that A, but this A, and then this B right there. That's your XAB of your bat, and I can now erase this because I don't need this anymore. I tell you, once you train your eyes to see it, once you see that your C point is not at your A point, you're fine. You're fine. Don't be stressing like, oh my God, where's that? Where's it going? But yeah, there's that. So now I have the information. You know that a bat completes at 886. I know that 886 is way up there, like way up there. But this is your bat pattern: X to A, A to B, B to C, C to D, which is stupid high up there. But that's how these patterns run. Now, again, that pattern completing might take, it's going to take a while. Like I said, if you're going to get in this, that'd be a super swing because that's like, ooh, that's 2,800 pip swing. That's a swing. That's a true swing out here. I know some people want to be in a swing trade for like a week. Yes, that is a swing trade, but if you plan on being on a pattern for like a year or 6 months, you can do that too. Just load that joint up and let it ride. Just know that you got to have enough money in your account to sustain if price goes negative. Now, a good example of that would be, we now hide this bat pattern. A good example of that would be this other Gartley pattern over here. And yes, these patterns be coming back to back like that. Let me erase. That rectangle at, don't need you. Erase. I don't need you either. You out of here. So the other pattern I see, like, there's so much patterns on the same pair on this daily time frame. Other pattern I see. Now I know you guys see it now because I just zoomed in on it. This is your right here. Look at that. You see that? Eyeballing this is a Gartley. I can tell how deep this right here is. So I'm gonna fib this from X to A, which is impulse leg. Remember, first move is impulse leg. Bam, that's impulse. It makes you nice and thick so you guys can see it. That's your impulse leg right there. Now, what do you have? Retracement. Back down is in that 618 zone. It is not at 786. It's in the zone. It's in that zone. So now that I have that information, I can see just off the strength of that, okay, this has to be a Gartley pattern. Now, let me fib from this is X, this is A. Let me fib from my A to B to find C. All C has to touch is 618 on the Gartley. Look where it went at, 618. So long as it's in this zone right here, we're good to go. That is still, this Gartley is legit. Now, I got to freaking sneeze again. Hopefully I don't. So you guys know how the money zone works. The money zone is 886 of X to A. This all still your first fib. So you get your B from your first fib. You get the first half of your money zone from your first fib. So this 886 right here is your first touch. This is when you've been in this trade. Now what you do now is you're going to fib from your B, which is your low point in the middle, your retracement, to the high point of your C, which is right here. So your money zone on this would have been right here. And so I'm going to erase this box. We don't need it. We have fib lines everywhere. So now we have this. What we can do now is draw some buy lines. Buy. What are you doing? I'm trying this again. I don't know why I never pushed the words in there the first time. Buy and a buy. That's your two buy zones right there. And again, this pattern is huge. Every candle on here equals a day. So this is a huge pattern. But look at from your two buys you got in. I bet you this drawdown gonna be crazy. Let's see. You'd have been down 300, almost 400 pips. Which again, I know that sounds crazy, but look at your reward you're getting. The reward would have been 1,700 pips for 300 pips. That's a pretty dang good risk to reward ratio. Like that's pretty good. And so let me draw this pattern over here now because I can erase you. You out of here, and you out of here, you out of here. So we got us a X to A. Oh, I did that wrong just now. How dare I? Try this again. X to A to B, B to C, C to D. This has been your first entry right here, and this is a Gartley pattern. Bam, basic Gartley. Your stop loss would have been way down here. So this one is joints, like I said, either you're doing a real small lot size, or let this thing ride. Because it actually went right back to one. Went right back to one. But your stop loss would have been down here at 113. If I draw a line at 113, let's see something real quick. Let's just see. I'm gonna draw this exactly at 113. It's usually under 113. I'm gonna draw a line exactly on it, just to see something. That 113 zone, tis strong. Look how strong that 113 zone is. See where it says stop loss at? Look to the left. Price tapped there when it did that crazy wick before. Look at all those touches. So with this one, there's a high chance that price could have gone there. But, luckily it didn't. That's why I say I usually put price below that 113, because that's a strong zone right there. And what's crazy is all this stuff is lining up just based off the fib. I'm not drawing any support or resistance zone here. All this stuff is based just off what the fib is telling me. When the fib is telling me at 113, that's a strong zone. The fib is telling me is that 886 from that X to A is a strong zone. Look at that. Look at that zone right there. This right here is that 886. Let me make some different colors so you guys can differentiate. That's 886 right there in red. Look how strong that zone is. Now your 1272 zone right here. Make this one, it's already blue already. You guys see it. Look how strong that zone is. And this is just based off of fib in the future, and price in the past is touching all over those lines. It's just feeling on them. That's again pretty good dang risk to reward. And again, this is a huge pattern. So your drawdown on this would have been on the weak side 256 pips, on the strong side almost 400 pips. But your reward with 2 entries would have been crazy. It would have been double of that 1,600, 1,700 pips on that. And it's currently at 1,800 pips. But on the flip side, what else do I see here? Let me actually save this. I'm not gonna save the screenshot. What I will do is come back to this. Now, what I'm seeing right now on this, let me hide you also. I can get rid of this stuff. I don't need you. Now, what I'm seeing on this also right now is another move. Let me see something real quick. What is this? Didn't make it. It's fine. So what I'm seeing on this right here now is it's looking like a cipher. It ain't the prettiest cipher, but a cipher nonetheless. Let me show you guys what I see real quick. X, A, B, C. And again, this is just what my eyes see on this. And D, somewhere in this general area. Now, if I fib this out, this is right in the way, isn't it? How dare you? Let me move you too. Let me get you out of here also. This way it ain't covering stuff up. So I'm going to fib X to A. What do I have on this retracement? It is wicking right above that 618. So it's legit. It ain't, did it close over here? Yeah, oops. It might have closed above it, but it's still looking real cipher-rich. It's a little closed above it, but it's a lot of wicks in that zone. So I'm guessing even on an even higher time frame, this thing is probably legit, too legit to even quit. But look where, let me now go to, before I get ahead of myself, let me go back X, back to A. What am I doing? Why is this all the way over here for? I'm tripping. Let me drag you all the way over here. Look where your C point is at. And this is why I love to trade C to D on cipher patterns. Look at that. Make this my cipher pattern color. I can't talk tonight, but it's fine. You guys understand I'd be struggling on here, but you guys get it. You guys get what I'm trying to say. Look at that 1272 to 1414 zone. Price is right in there. So if you would have gotten this even from right here, this is the same piece of that Gartley. You could have rode this joint up massively, another 1,800 pips. So if you saw the Gartley or if you saw the cipher, even though this cipher is a little wonky, it ain't perfect, you could have still rode this joint up. So now that I have the information, I can take my fib from X all the way to C. And what do we have here? 786 is right here. 786 is your entry. This would have been your sell. Now, don't anybody ask me, is it too late to get in the sell? Don't ask that question. Because honestly, it's not, but I ain't getting in it. My main reason is there's a lot of upward momentum on this. So even if price does drop down, this kind of looks like an inverted head and shoulders too. So what I can show you what that is you guys see how my eyes work. I'll be seeing stuff all over the place. Let me erase. This inverted head and shoulders I see on here is actually, it ain't pretty. Like I said earlier, it don't gotta be pretty, but it's there. Look at this. This is the left shoulder and back to there and head and back to there and a right shoulder. And look what price is doing. So now that I have this information with this, right? And again, I don't like trading. I don't like selling or buying at the D point of a pattern. I would have just bought this up. If I saw this pattern in advance, I would have bought this up. I would just bought this from here to there. That's what I would have done. Now, obviously, I didn't see this pattern in advance because you guys would have been on it. Because I haven't been trading the daily. I've been just marking up on the daily. I haven't even been looking at the daily to get in on the trade. But you see, there's been some big moves on there. They've been taking a year, but they've been on there. But look at this. So with this inverted head and shoulders, it looks like price should, in theory, go here. So it looks like. Let me put this as a take profit line real quick. And I say in theory because there ain't nothing guaranteed in trading, like I said. In theory, price should go right there. Now, if price goes there, what that mean? If you try to sell this cipher that was right here, you can get slapped in the throat real hard. You can get slapped in the throat and be mad you're in it. But it is legit though. Because price can always drop down and then go. It's a possibility too. Price can drop down here, find support in this general area right here where this last level of resistance was at, find support, and then make its way up. It can do that. Or it might consolidate and dance its way up. Anything is possible here. But just know what is being seen here. A cipher is seen there and this inverted head and shoulders. The inverted head and shoulders is saying that price is going to go here. So, I mean, that, again, is a possibility right there. So with this, just because I ain't 100%, I'm not going to sell this right now. I mean, price is dancing around right now. It had a hard push. We all know coming after a hard push, a little bit of retracement. So this retracement that's coming might be what we're looking for. It might be this right here. That's what it might be. That's a pretty hard push up there. Remember what gold did a couple last week, matter of fact, when gold dropped those 900 pips, all it did was retrace from all that giant push up that it had. All that upward momentum has to slow down at some point. Remember, friction is real, and friction is definitely real in these markets too. What else do I see on this joint? You guys already know that big bat pattern's right there too. So if that big bat pattern comes to fruition and then price blows past this take profit, look for price to come down, find support, and then complete that bat somewhere up here, wherever the heck I drew it at, something like that, a little something. I did all this to show you guys that there be patterns everywhere. And I know it was incorrect English. I said it on purpose, but there be patterns everywhere all over these charts, man. It's not just like I don't see anything. If you don't see anything, go to a higher or go to a lower time frame, because all the stuff right here was just drawn on a super high time frame for a reason. I want you guys to see that this stuff here, and even if you don't see it at first or your naked eye doesn't see it or is not trained to see it off the rip, it is still there. It's definitely still there. So you guys saw, I just showed you guys, it's the big bat pattern, the head and shoulders, and it's a cipher on this. Let me hide this too. You don't need it right now. Bye-bye. I can erase that. But yeah, all that stuff is on this. So when I drop you guys a naked chart in the chat, just look for the stuff. Like this stuff right here is an easy giveaway. This right here. Easy giveaway. W formation. M formation. Like easy giveaways right there. So let me go back. So do I even want to do trend lines on here? Do you guys even care about trend lines right now? I'm just going to do just the bottom. I'm going to see what we got on here as far as trend lines go. I have to. It's in my DNA. I have to talk about these trend lines. I have to. Let me see what we got. So let me extend this on a daily. Bam. What we got here? We got more moves. Oh yeah, see, and again, this is another example of how good these trend lines work, man. Because okay, so this trend line is based off this point and these 2 points right here. You see how price tapped those by 3 confirmation points? Now, price cut through here. Look at that rejection of that trend line. Look at that rejection of that trend line. Look at that rejection of the trend line. Another one, and a break and retest on that same trend line. These trend lines be working. And again, I know it's not correct English, but it don't matter. It gets the point across. But yeah, that downward trend line right there is got some power to it. Definitely got some power. Let me drag this to this next high point and see what I got. No, it ain't the sexiest one, but it still works. So I told you guys earlier, it gotta be sexy to work. Look at that, bam, and look at that. Look at that rejection. And right there, rejection. Touch, touch, rejection. That's a break and retest of that one too. Like these trend lines be working all over. Let me move this out the way. And I can bet you any money that there's a trend coming this way too somewhere. So I want to erase these two first trend lines because though they're there, they ain't too important in the grand scheme of things right now. Unless price decides wants to drop down and come back to those, what I can do is just make these pink real quick. And from that pink trend line, I will make another one. So I'll grab this one here from, I'm looking in this zone right here. Show you guys what I'm looking at. I'm looking in this general area right here. This is literally all I do. I just scan and see what pops out to me. And what pops out to me is these 3 points, but more so these points right here. You see all these upward movement right here, but it's like back to back to back, slowly stair-stepping this way up. So what I do is I'm going to grab from a general area like this. Just see what I got. I like the angle of that. Let me fix the angle real quick. So I need this to be like on point. There you go. There you go. That one right there. That's a little better right there. So you see how all like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of those points, 7 points touch that line. So now that I have that, I'll extend this in both directions. Daily trend line, bam. And let me get rid of this. And this like this wick is still part of this trend line now. This is not part of this trend line now. This all was drawn off this little area right here. But again, I tell you guys all the time, when you see that respect in that line, like look at that respect in there. Respect all over. Respect, a break and retest respect right there. Rejection, rejection. Like it's so much respect on this trend line. If I drop down to a smaller time frame, it just shows you even more how respected this trend line is. Look at that. Look all up in there. They get up in there tight. Look at that. All those touches, and this is on the 1 hour. Look at all these touches on this trend line. Like that was just drawn from the daily. So all those trend line touches tell you one thing, that's a legit trend line. So what I can do with that information is, oops, I went back too far, go back forward, bam. I can get rid of this box right here. And what can I do with that info? I can now copy this, control, copy, and see if this little price was in the channel right here or a little something right here we're trying to do. What's price trying to do right here? Oh, there you go. There it is. That's where it's supposed to go at. Now, how do I know it's supposed to go there? Because look at this. Look here. Touch, rejection, touch, rejection, touch, rejection. Right there. In here too. It's not the prettiest touches, but they're in there. And I bet you when I drop down to a smaller time frame, you're going to see that. Look at that. Look at those touches on that. We're looking for trend line respect on this. I'm just showing you guys all the stuff on a high time frame for a reason, to show you how all this stuff plays together. They're all on the same part. Now, when I say plays together, meaning that now I'm looking and seeing that, okay, this is getting touch, touch, touch all in the middle of here. Look where price is at right now. Price is still above this. So I know there's a chance that if price pushes down here, price might be like, you know what, F your pattern. And be like, bam, I'm out of here. And just go complete that head and shoulders, the inverted head and shoulders. That's a possibility. Other possibility, price can be like, you know what, I like this line, but I'm jumping it. Jump the line, and then find support right here. Find support in this general area right here, and then push back up. Now, third option that can happen. Price might say F all this. So I bet you if I copy this line one more time in the middle, and this is just trend line overkill now, but just copying this line over one time in the middle, what I got. Let me see. There's decent respect there. If you guys know which line it is this line right here. I'm going to change to blue. That line right there, it's decent respect on that line. Look at it pass. Look at those touches right there. Look right here. Look at that right there in the middle. There's decent respect on this line right here too. Respect on that line and right there, break and retest. Now, the reason why this line matters is because this lines up with this. You see, it lines up with that. So that was just a strong candle. Next candle completely engulfed it and turned around. Now, you guys know I'm not big on candle formations, but that candle is telling you something. It's telling you that, yeah, price pushed hard in one direction, then it hit the brakes, and it was like, nah, I ain't about that life. And even if price does push hard in one direction, things like this happen too. Look at this wick. Look at that long wick. Then the next candle is smaller, going in a different direction. The next candle is just like, bam, we gone. We out of here. Like them wicks gonna tell you something. But again, you don't have to know candlestick formations to be a profitable trader or be a good trader. You can just know the information that I'm showing you right now, which is like, these patterns, support, resistance, trend lines. Man, that's the 3 things you can learn. I mean, head and shoulders is nice. You don't have to learn that to make money. It's just another thing you can pull out your Swiss Army knife when it comes time to, hey, I'm not seeing a pattern. But on this daily time frame, these patterns are gonna take a while to complete anyway. But since there's uncertainty on this with me, I wouldn't hop in this for a sell right now. And you know what? It might drop down for a sell, but I ain't hopping in for a sell because you don't have to chase it. You do not have to chase every single thing you see. Like you don't have to. I know you guys have heard that before, but you definitely have to chase everything you see in trading at all. So there's options on this. What can happen? Price can drop down and do this little thing and do what it's want to do all in this little zone right here. So like I said, options. It can hit that, turn around, or hit this, go back to this. Oh, that's right in the way, isn't it? Hit that. Get out of the way. Go back to this, and then either break it or go down. But that head and shoulders right there is showing me that there's a high chance that price is going to go complete a head and shoulders. It's going to go at least like up here somewhere to complete this. Now look where price is at right now. Just from me looking at this, which is even more crazier how my eyes work, this red dotted line is where price is currently at. Look where price is currently at. I drop a line on top of that. Where price is currently at right now is, let me make this orange. Yay, we're different. Look at this. So looking to the left, what do you see on this orange line? There's a support level right there. It's not the prettiest, but there's support all in the middle of there. And there's also a big level of resistance right here. And this is where price is currently at. That's a decent level. It's not the strongest, but it's a decent. Even if I zoom in right here on this little move right here, it's like also like a head and shoulders. It's an ugly head and shoulders, but a head and shoulders nonetheless. This same zone right here, look at all this respect on this zone right here. Probably shouldn't have a red arrow and a red box on top of red lines, but you guys get the point. I'll make this green. Bam. Look at the respect right there in the zone. This is that same orange line. Look at all that respect. So let me zoom back out real quick. This thing is getting ugly real fast. So it's a big old arrow. So look where price is at right now, though. This is a nice zone. Remember, these lines aren't perfectly straight lines. These are actually like zones. So this zone is probably more like this. That's a pretty strong zone right there. So it's a chance that price might find support on this and be like, you know what? Touch this black trend line and say F y'all pattern and head out. It's gonna hit the SpongeBob on us and say, all right, I'm gonna head out. That can happen. That definitely can happen. So now that I got so much freaking lines on here, I'm gonna look at one more pattern on a higher time frame for a reason. It was NZD what? NZD CAD. Where's it at? We're on GCAD right now. So NZD CAD, this is that pattern. No, this one actually came to fruition. It did this thing. This one right here. This little one down here. I talked about this last week too. It hit take profit, then it headed out. Now, again, we have a giant move on here. And this giant move, all it's showing us is, hey, go to a higher time frame and see what you see. I'm not going to go through here and draw all those patterns I just saw, but off the rip, first thing I see, head and shoulders. You guys see it right here? Look at that. This is head and shoulders right there. Head and shoulders, no shampoo. What else I see on this? I see a head and shoulders on this. I see what looks like, oh, never mind, invalidated. I see a W formation. I thought it was a Gartley for a second. I didn't look at this point right here. This point right here. But it's still a W formation. And you guys know what I said happened to W formation. You just bypass that neckline. So you would have made some pips on this. You'd have made about 90 pips. Oops, I didn't do that. If you would have bought when price got above this. So you guys know what the heck I'm talking about. I'm just looking, not telling right here. That'd be a little 90 pip zone right there. But I do see a big old head and shoulders on this. And you guys know, if you guys don't see it, this is your support right there. And left shoulder, back to support, head, right shoulder. And where did price go? It's like you're in school. Where did you go, price? Price, where did you go? It went back to where it came from. Price went back home. Look at that. So you made money on this too. This would have been a nice little sell-off right here. 350 pip sell-off right there. Off a real simple move. If you can find support and resistance, you can find a head and shoulders and see how they work. Let me actually want to cover this pattern real quick just to show the trends on this too, because I didn't go anything smaller than this high time frame. It's actually like a Gartley right here too. I mean, covering that right now. I'm just showing these trends real quick on this, which would have been right here. So these trend lines work. Grab that high point, drag this joint down, looking for wicks, not bodies. So I can do daily, bam, right there. And if I copy this one over, what do we have here? Look where price is at, right there. And on the higher time frame, oh, I'm seeing stuff. I'm seeing things. What is this? This move looks real familiar to GCAD, doesn't it? Real familiar. So you know how a lot of these pairs move on the same index. So I'm pretty sure there's a CAD index that all stuff's going to move out. But looking at this, what do I see? I see a bat pattern, X to A to B. C is past that 0.5, but not the 618. B to C, even that long spike is just part of it. It's just all just part of it. C to D. This looks real similar to that big GCAD move that's on here, which is a really big really big bat pattern on here, which I did turn off. Let me see real quick. Where's it at? Not that one. Is it this one? I'm guessing it's not that one. Nope. Must be this one. Yep. Don't these moves look real similar? This one and this one. This should be a different color. Hold up real quick. Bam. These look real similar. So I bet you if I overlay NZD CAD and GCAD, they probably look real similar. Let me see. What's NZD CAD? It's just a little bit higher, but it's the same move happening. This B right now. Look what's that? It's doing the same thing. Like all these pairs. I can't talk. All these pairs move pretty similar. This one was down when that one was up, but look at the push up. It's in the same spot. And right there, the same spot. And it dropped down, the same spot. And it pushed up in the same spot. They're not exact, but they're pretty dang on close. So you can expect that. Get you off here real quick. That this bat pattern, when price decides to push up together on both of these, it might overextend for this GCAD and push even higher, because you saw it's been doing a little bit over exaggerating on this. But this bat can probably complete too. You know, the bat pattern isn't my favorite pattern, but I mean, let me see what the zone is at. Let me see what this 886 zone is at real quick. Drop a line on this. And the 886 zone is, since it's on a daily level, I'll make this a black line. That's a pretty nice zone right there, though. This is a daily line. Bam. Look at that. Look at that respect. All through there. Look at all that respect. Now, by seeing all that respect in this, you're like, okay, when price gets up there, it's probably going to sell off. Even if it sells off for a second, it's going to sell off right there. And it might just sell out to the next major level, which looks like it's like right here somewhere. Like right there. So I mean, it's not the biggest. That's probably your take profit one, but my next take profit would probably be down somewhere in the B area or right here. Look at that level. Look at the respect on that level. So definitely, I mean, I'm trying to make this trading thing as simple as possible. You don't have to know all the analytics and what's happening, what's coming next, and what's going to happen, and blah, blah, blah. You don't have to know all that stuff to know that when price, gets into certain areas, it's going to do a certain thing. And that's all I'm trying to show you guys tonight on the higher time frame. Remember, everything I drew just now was on a daily time frame. Like everything was on a daily time frame, because these big spikes might have freaked some people out, but in the grand scheme of things, they're just part of the plan. They're just part of a bigger pattern. They're just part of what was going to possibly happen anyway. Look at that long wick. That long wick probably destroys people's accounts, but it's just a lower C point on a bat pattern. So if I go and fib it out, it's almost to X, but it might almost be at X. I mean, not X, at A. Let me fib this out real quick. From A to B. Yeah, it just wicked 886 is all it did. So I mean, again, there's no reason to freak out, because it's just part of the plan. Now, do you guys have any questions before I hop over here? I hear crickets. So if I hear crickets, that means there are no questions. So with that being said, you guys know it's going to be uploaded. I'll try to upload these videos faster. So I guess I'll upload this video tomorrow. possibly. And it was funny is look what price is at. I just drew the trend line down. Look what price is wicked off of that trend line. But with that being said, like I said, I will upload this tomorrow. Make life easy for you guys. Okay, before I hop for one more time, look at that head and shoulders right there in the middle. You see it? That's how my brain work. I be getting all distracted all easy. Look at that. Head and shoulders right in the center of all that. I didn't draw it straight, but you guys see it. Head and shoulders right there. Price came back. Where did price come from? All the way down here. Look at price went back to you. All the way down here. Even though it took a while, it went all the way back down there. So again, that spike probably destroyed somebody's account, but it was all part of the same plan because prices went back to where it came from. But with that being said, there's no questions. I will upload this and I will holler at you guys on the next one. When you look for the session, it's going to be called Them Spikes. Them Spikes. I'll see you guys on the next one.